Alright everyone, Supreme Kami over here. So we're going to be taking a look at the H2 Dark Hound over here. So this is what we are working with over here. So we are going to take a look at the alterated version and see how we're talking about. So only going to be looking at 3 EXQ and they are actually quite interesting. So in terms of the flash eyes over here, so this is more or less like a stunning type EXQ. So this one, what I want to do, so I want to test it out at base level 1, EXQ level 1, and then I just want to see what kind of like timer we are looking at, because I just want to see what is the effectiveness of the flash eyes up here. So I'm going to do that from level 1 to level 10 to see what we're looking at, and then I'll also compare that to one of the best standard EXQ that we have. That is going to be under the Iron Blood Orphans over here, and that is going to be your Swabby Glaze right here. Where is it at? This one over here. So this one is going to be one of the best standard EXQ that actually does damage as well. So this one is going to be the Wired Claw. So unfortunately right now it does not have its alteration. So I assume that when this one does get an alteration, it should do a lot more damage over here. So right now we're only looking at C power, but this EXQ has a very long duration of stunning capability. So that's why I want to compare the two and see which one is better. But I think overall this one, the Swabby Glaze, is going to be a lot more better, but I just want to test it out. So in terms of the Dark Hound, it does have a archer's shot. So I don't recall actually this one being like a stun EXQ, but we'll test it out as well. So this one is already level 10, so I'll just compare that one to base level 10 non-alterated and then up to alteration and see what we're dealing with over here. So that is going to be pretty much it. So what is the last one over here? So this one is going to be a Steam Rush or Steam Slash. I think this one is not that bad either, but alright, so let's talk about how to actually get the parts. So the only way to get the parts right now is actually through this week's limited time treasure mission over here. So in terms of how to get the actual key for it, I'm going to show you real quick as well. So first things first, this is the one that you want to be targeting, and then you see that you need the keys above, right? You need those purple keys right here. And then after that, once you do obtain some keys, you'll hop into the revival parts over there and just do a lot of skipping and runnings over here. So I already do have max cell event multiplier for this week. Let me see. I think I need to add in one more part actually. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think I need to add in one more part. So what I'll do, I'll add in a range or melee weapon from here. So let me see. Do I need to adhere to this, right? What's that? Oh, I think it's the, there you go. Alright, so I think it needs 5 to max out this week's event multiplier for the treasure mission. So I think right now I should up to 5. So that right there will allow me to get the maximum drop rate right there. So let's talk about how to get the actual key. So we did talk about where to kind of farm the mission. So what we need to do now is go back to the regular welfare event, and then you just want to click on, I will usually do the EX stage because it's just a lot more easier to just rank up a lot of those key, I will have to say. So I'm gonna do 2 skip right there, so because I don't really have that much energy left. So let's see. Okay, so we were able to get 2 keys right there. So basically you just want to kind of repeat the overall process, and then afterward you can kind of do your treasure mission right there. And then another place you can also get those keys is definitely going to be your weekly welfare event exchange page. So we're going to visit that as well real quick. You are able to get up to 10 or 15 I recall, so let me just kind of check it out real quick. So it will be 15, so you can buy that at a cost at 100, so it's going to cost you 1,500 up the guardian coins right there. So that's going to be it. So after that we just have to do a bunch of skipping, and then we should be able to get the overall Dark Hound. And okay, last place. So the last place you can also get it, let's say you're not able to get the drop, the one you want, for example, you can actually head over to the event. Alongside you dropping the parts, they will also give you some exchange tickets where you can actually farm it up. So you will need 10 of the fragments, so it is a little bit expensive. And last but not least, you are able to get the actual pilot awesome as well. So I do highly encourage getting at least 1 copy to kind of get work towards your job grade right there. So that's going to be pretty much it in terms of where to get that. So now let me hop back into the alteration page and see which one you guys should be focusing on. Alright, so we are here already. So let's just start things off with the head part right now. So the head part, I'm not really going to talk too much about in terms of overall stat. I think they're pretty much self-explanatory that they would not be like anything on par with, let's say, any of the battles, but the battle log welfare unit, they're just made way too good. So in terms of the parts rate for this one, this is a very excellent double E skill power boosting when you are using for space. So for anyone that is starting out and do need to have some good foundation, I will have to say this is not a bad way to run this right here, because like I would have to say for space, definitely not the most relevant word tag. So later on, as you guys are building through, you guys will know that for space is definitely not the main go-to. But I mean, if you are someone new that is starting out, doesn't really have that much part, and you just need some power boosting to kind of allow you to clear submission, I will not say this is a bad option. Just simply a great utility parts to have, so not bad if you guys do want to get the head. So this one, I don't really know how much of an effective rate we're looking at, because there's literally nothing. So this is not like it, so you're not going to be able to do any damage. So this is purely like a stun EXQ. So I do want to clarify to see what kind of like timer count we can see in terms of effectiveness. So this one simply, I wouldn't really like. So here's the thing, if the timer does not change from base EX skill level 1 to EX skill level 10, then you only need one copy. If let's say level EX skill level 1 you can stun for 5 seconds, and then EX skill level 10 you can stun for like, I don't know, 10 seconds for example, then that's the time you want to alterate it. But I'll definitely test it out and see what we're dealing with after that. So this part, you guys can definitely hold off onto it until further testing. I will be doing the testing towards the end of the video, so don't worry about that. This one, let's see what we're dealing with over here. So for space and close combat, okay. Ooh, so this one does jump up to B plus power, so this one may be worth the alteration then, because you are able to gain some additional, you know, power modifier right there. So that's actually quite good, not bad then. What about the steam slash? Okay, so it went up respectively as well, so from a B minus to a B plus, so that should be very good. I believe this is one of those EX skills that actually uses the beam saber and actually rushes into your target, more like a back and forth rushing in, so it may be a very good looking EX skill overall, so not bad. Definitely worth the alteration if you do plan to use it, because you are gaining a little bit in terms of the damage multiplier right there, so not bad. Backpack, let's see what we're dealing with over here. Ooh, okay, so first portrait is definitely not that bad, so you definitely do have to alterate it in order to gain benefit of that. So I mean, if you are using a lance category, then you get immediately power boosting. I mean, overall it's not too bad, but like the first portrait does kind of ruin it already. So I don't know if you guys don't, I just don't know if you guys want to use the extra energy to kind of like format for the backpack. Like I'm pretty sure there should be just a lot more better backpack in terms of like, let's talk about the free-to-play realm. So this one is definitely a good option, but not necessarily something you want to like go ham into kind of format for, because eventually if you guys are able to pick something from, let's say, the limited time parts, I think those are ultimately the better option. But if you guys are starting out and do need something, I mean, these are definitely welcomed in. They're easy level 10 for say. So I mean, it's good overall. If you guys do want to alterate it for the extra melee power boosting, definitely go for that, because it's only locking to, let's say, lance category, so it's not that terrible in a way. Does have close combat, I believe. Let me see. Oh, transformer, so that's a little bit hard to subslot then. Transformer, yeah, but it's still good overall. I would have to say it's still good nonetheless. Right, what about the actual lens itself? Oh, so we got the initial charge boosting. I mean, initial charge boosting, we have a lot of these in terms of the actual standard 4-star part. So I don't know. So this one is probably one of those that you don't really want to go for in a way. I know it's an easy level 10 to your EXQ initial charge right there, but you're sacrificing too much for that first portrait and just not really worth it. The first portrait is basically just sitting there and doing nothing. So that's kind of a waste to begin with. So we will kind of skip this one right here. It's good. I do like the initial charge boosting, but it's just not really that intriguing when you have the first portrait that is basically nothing you can use it on. Alright, what about the hyper or just a dot gun over here? So what are we dealing with over here? Okay, so this one is a debuffing EXQ up or effects up right there. So these are normally not something you will kind of run. These are not something that will allow you to do damage. These right here is simply allowing you to have your enemy do less damage to you, so potentially hit 0 damage per as you do activate some debuffing EX skill right there. So this is simply for those who are building, like trying to have a fun build and then just trying to reduce your enemy power. But other than that, this is definitely something I will have to say put up until the end of the roster for pickup. So overall, if we just taking a look at what we have, I think the head part is definitely a solid option. And then maybe the arm is definitely a good option as well. And then maybe go for the dots again if you guys do want to get that debuffing going on. That lance, the dots lance is just, it's good, you know, having that initial charge, but it's just that you're sacrificing too much for that 20% and that you're not getting anything else on top of that. So that's gonna be pretty much it. So do keep that in mind. They do have their limited time, they do have their permanent alteration, but in terms of getting the actual part, it is on the limited side. So now let me actually jump into some testing and see how they go. Alright guys, so with that being said, that's going to be EXQ portion showcase of the H2 Dark Hound up here. So you guys can see that the torso is only able to stun for like roughly about 5 seconds, and then in terms of arm, it's going to do damage to your enemy, so that's a good thing. And then also it's going to give you maybe roughly about 3 to 4 seconds of stunning capability, so that is actually not satisfactory level if you compare that to the Swabby Blades, which I just have under my custom build. So in terms of this one was roughly about 10-second-ish, give or take, so this is extremely powerful. So it was just quite unfortunate, even with a proper alteration, it was not really able to output what I want in terms of the effective time. But that really does say that in terms of the torso, you don't really need to get that maxed out EXC level 10. Maybe for the arm you do to just kind of maximize what kind of damage you're doing, because you're standing for like a few seconds and then you're still doing damage as well. So that is definitely going to be a great addition. I will have to say the arm. Overall, in terms of the H2 Dark Hound, does look very aesthetic, so wouldn't mind getting the full set myself. if I didn't have one, definitely would get that myself. But with that being said, that's going to be pretty much it in terms of the Dark Hound H2 Dark Hound over here, and then I'll catch you guys all on the next one.